Okay, I'm going to get started. For those of you that didn't get my name is Karen. I want to welcome you on behalf of the Neptune Society and Mimi's Cafe. I'm happy you stepped up today. I know it's a holiday weekend and a lot of times people get really busy during holidays. So I just want to say thank you for showing up this week and taking time from your busy schedule to get some really timely information. Today basically is an informational presentation. I'm going to give you some really good information about cremation services, primarily with the Neptune Society, but I'm going to draw some distinctions between the ease and affordability of having a plan with the Neptune Society versus the cost involved and the stress level involved with having to plan a funeral for somebody maybe very close to you, okay? So hopefully by the time you leave today, you're going to be able to take some really good information with you. If you really are serious about looking into a pre-plan, you'll have a lot more negotiating power if you're going to be doing any competitive shopping, because you're going to actually understand what you're going to be getting in your policy or your plan with Neptune. And then after the presentation, I can let you know how you can get pricing, and if you're interested in possibly financing this. If this sounds like something that you're really interested in, I'll be able to help you out with that. Okay, my name is Karen, and this is our brand new presentation board here, so please allow me a couple of glitches every now and then. So as I promised you, you probably saw the ad in the paper that it's an informational luncheon presentation, so we are going to feed you. I'm going to try to get through this within 30 to 35 minutes, and then we'll all eat afterwards, okay? All right. So people ask me a lot of times why I do this, and one of the reasons I actually do this is because I feel like I'm a born communicator. I really love to help people. It's been a part of my nature my whole life, and I really believe that this is such good and timely information. And I'm going to go through all the reasons why this is really good information as the time progresses a little bit here. But one of the reasons I got involved was that my sister lost her husband and her son a couple of years ago within the same year. And I grew up 3,000 miles away from here. I'm originally from New York, but I lived out here half my life. And I cannot tell you how it felt for me to be so far away from my family when they were going through such a really difficult time. My sister knew her husband was going to be passing on. He had cancer. But what was really hard is nobody saw it coming when 10 months later her son had died unexpectedly. He was an honor student. He was due to graduate from college this part that year, and it was a big travesty that he lost his life. Now my sister, she had a little practice obviously going through making all the plans and everything. How many people here have actually had to make funeral arrangements for somebody close to them, whether it's a spouse or a parent? You have. How long ago was it?
My parents, 5 years.
Did he have a plan in place already?
No.
So who ended up having to pay for that? Yeah, see? This is what it's all about. No one sees it coming. We live in really unpredictable time, and my family was we still are very close-knit. I've got 8 siblings. We're all very close-knit. And the fact that I couldn't be there, nobody could ever comprehend, unless you've lost a child, what that would actually be like and what you even say to somebody. So the fact that she had to go through this 10 months earlier with her husband, it didn't make it any easier when she had to bury her son 10 months later. But I guarantee you, had she known about the Neptune Society, I wasn't actually working for the company at the time. Had she known about what Neptune actually had inside of the policy, I think it could have saved not only her, but the rest of our family a whole lot of heartache, because a plan would have already been in place. We have something as part of our policy, and I'll get to it a little bit later, where if you are a member of the Neptune Society, you can actually put any of your children or grandchildren under the age of 21 on your plan. And in the event that something should happen to them, like my sister losing her son, the Neptune Society would handle all the cremation arrangements and everything, transportation, relocation, everything that goes along with it. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why I actually got involved. I really felt very strongly to be in a position where I could actually be somebody to help maybe another family so that they would never have to go through that, and they actually had a plan in place because, like I said, we live in really unpredictable times. Okay, so we want to start these seminars a little bit, or these presentations, with a little bit of role play playing. I'm just going to ask if you can close your eyes and kind of get an idea of what it would be like that you be around somebody very, very close to you, the ones that you love the most, and suddenly that person started grasping for their chest, unable to breathe. And you felt completely helpless because you did not know what to do. Maybe you tried to give them a Heimlich maneuver, maybe you tried to call 911. If they were in a position where you could actually get them to a hospital or emergency room, you did that. Okay? Now, what if in that time period they died? All right? Now, this is typically what happens when somebody actually dies, whether they're in a hospital or maybe at a nursing home. But anyway, when the family is finally brought to the hospital, they're greeted by the attending physician and the attending nurse. And after the doctor and the nurse extend their condolences on the loss, the very next question they're going to ask the family is there anybody that I can call for you? And what they basically mean by that is, do you have any kind of plan in place? Can I call the Neptune Society? Can I call Forest Lawn? Can I call, do you have a plan? And sadly, 6 out of 10 times, the family members just kind of look at each other, not knowing what to say and say, no, there's nobody you can call. So by law, that doctor, that nurse is required to hand the family a phone book. Okay, a phone book for them to actually start making their arrangements to take care, to transport their loved one either to a mortuary or a crematory. All right? With Neptune Society, the way we've actually set everything up is all it would take your family is one phone call. Should that ever happen to anybody in your family, and you remember Neptune, all they would have to do would be to make one phone call to Neptune and we would handle it. Okay? So what I'm going to ask you right now is, this is why we all need to make a pre-arrangement. When you agree, what would you rather have them do? Hand you a phone book or have somebody hand you a phone number? All right? Now, in life, we pretty much have insurance policies for just about everything, right? We have homeowners insurance, renters insurance, we have health insurance, we might even have pet insurance, okay? We have car insurance, all right? And the thing is, we tend to be able to have insurance policies for things that may never ever happen. But these are statistics. Chances of having an accident on the way to this venue are 10,000 to 1, right? But the argument is that you're preparing for something that might happen, not something that will happen. The ratio of passing away is 1 to 1. So basically, folks, none of us are getting out of here alive. However, every month, we write that check, right? We write that check for our homeowners. We write that check for our health insurance, our car insurance. How do we do that? How do we do that?
To protect the ones we love.
Well,
So
to
we're not gonna,
ourselves, too.
Yeah. So, burden with the financial
Exactly. We do it.
while you're sick and broken.
And the thing is, we write these checks because the peace of mind it gives us to know that, hey, if anything, I got sick or my loved one got sick, I can just take them to the hospital or the emergency room because I have a health care plan. Hey, if I got in a car accident, that would be awful, but I've got car insurance, okay? But the very thing that we know is definitely going to happen to us, we don't really sit down and actually talk about and do something about. And this is why, because a lot of times people don't realize that you can actually have a pre-arrangement. Many people don't even know about this until somebody close to them dies, maybe a colleague or a family member, and you're at the memorial service, and people start to talking. And then you get to learn, that so-and-so already had a pre-arrangement, it didn't cost the family anything because the parents actually bought a pre-arrangement or a pre-plan maybe 35 years ago. Okay, this is what we're talking about. Okay, now you understand the need to have a pre-plan. So I've got 3 questions I'm going to ask you. Have you already decided that cremation is your final destination? Have you decided that yet?
I think I'm pretty much decided.
Okay, good. And how about you? You're not decided yet? Okay. And do you have a will, or is cremation mentioned in your will? How many people here already have a living trust or a living will? No, you haven't done it yet. Okay, so again, you're kind of maybe at the beginning stages right now of looking into pre-arrangements. And the very last question, are you a U.S. veteran? Do we have any veterans here? Okay, well I do have to mention the fact that if you were a veteran, the Neptune Society really does take care of our veterans. We have a division at our corporate offices in Plantation, Florida that does nothing but work with the families of veterans on behalf of getting their benefits. If you were a veteran, you would be entitled to have your ashes interred into any national cemetery's mausoleum, where there's going to be room for you. Or if you were going to be buried, you would be entitled to be buried in any national cemetery where there would be room for you. All the family or all Neptune would actually need would be your DD 214 number, okay, that's your discharge number, and then we can handle everything from that point forward. You know, if the veteran or the person that died was a vet, and maybe they spent a good amount of their time, maybe their career was in the military, if maybe having an honor guard at their memorial service before, after the cremation, if that was important to them, Neptune Society would also take care of all those arrangements on behalf of that veteran, okay? Again, all you would need would be the vet's DD 214 number. So, when you're making a pre-arrangement, we like to basically say, yes, it's important that you do have an arrangement, and you have a plan for your memorialization, whether you're going to be buried or whether you are going to be cremated. But ultimately, what it comes down to is it's not about you. When you have a pre-arrangement, it's really about those people that you love, that you're leaving behind. If it's your partner in life, your spouse, your children, those people. Okay? Because these are the people that are actually going to be the ones grieving the loss of you. Okay? Now you have to ask yourself, if you haven't actually had to pay for a funeral in maybe the last 5 or 10 years, what do you even think the cost of a basic traditional funeral is these days? Do you even know what that is? You're pretty much in the ballpark there. Now consider the fact that if you didn't have a plan and you did die suddenly, were the ones that you love, whether it's your partner, your spouse, or your children, do you actually know if they have that money set aside to be able to take care of your funeral arrangements? Because here's what a lot of families don't understand. If they've never had to go through making funeral arrangements or plans for somebody, is that you cannot finance a funeral. We can finance, and this is what the whole irony is, because we assume that we can finance everything, right? We can finance our education, we can finance our car, we can finance our home, but when it comes to somebody dying, it is expected to be paid for right up front, and that is what's really shocking to most people. They don't understand that it has to be paid for right up front, and these are the kind of things that could perpetually or eventually divide a family that was once close, because a lot of times in families there's always that one sibling that may make a little bit more money than the other, and then it's expected that the one that's making more money, if mom or dad passed away and they didn't leave a plan or have it paid for, that's who the responsibility is going to fall on. And maybe they'll come right up with it because they've got to take care of it immediately. But suddenly over years that resentment starts to creep in, because they know at some point maybe they'll never get paid back.
5 minutes.
Exactly. So if you've ever been through that, listen, what brings a lot of people to our seminars is the exact same thing happened to them. A parent or a loved one passed away suddenly and unexpectedly without a plan, and then they were the ones left holding the bag. And we even have people come to our seminar saying, you know what, I miss my mother dearly, but I still resent the fact that she had the money, but she never wanted to talk about any kind of pre-arrangements or any kind of funeral arrangements, anything, and then it happened, and we were left holding the bag. Okay, so it's these kind of things that bring people to our seminars. So when this plan goes into effect, you're no longer going to be living, right? You've had your loved ones from getting taken advantage of financially on your most emotional day. Wouldn't you agree it's really better to have a plan in place? Because when it's going to be your loved ones actually sitting in front of a funeral planner or a funeral director, what do you think that funeral planner is going to show your family first? The most expensive, exactly, the most expensive casket, the most expensive burial plot, the most expensive headstone, the most expensive burial plot with a view, right? Because when you're dead, you have to have a view. But they know that you're vulnerable. And guess what? You come to them and you're at need. And they know that you have a very small window of time to make decisions. Literally maybe 48 to 72 hours tops. And depending on what your religious or cultural beliefs are, sometimes not even that much time. So time is really not working with you. Time is working against you. You've got a very small window with which to make a decision. Do you even know? Did mom want to be buried or did she want to be cremated? We never had that conversation. Not to mention the fact that your family, you're going to have to come up with that money in a very short amount of time. And certainly a lot of money, that they were more money than they even expected that they were ever going to have to pay. And have to pay for it right up front. Okay? So again, here's what your kids are going to say. You know, we have people that come sometimes. One partner doesn't want to